In this video, I'm going to give you the exact steps you need to take in order to choose a stock to swing trade and how to use multiple time frames to get confirmation of a trend before entering a trade. I always start, regardless of the volatility of the stock, on a 30-day, 1-hour time frame. This will show us the monthly trend with enough data points to show us any particular levels of interest. Let's look at an example. Here we are on Apple stock. I'm on the 30-day, 1-hour chart. I will first draw my support and resistance lines. So previously around 140, we got some resistance here, and it looks like we're just coming close to that as well. So I'm going to draw that as a key point by clicking and dragging. So that's my first resistance line. And we have a lot of support around here. It looks like it bounced around this 125 level. So we're going to draw a line around there as well. Next, I will look at the RSI and compare it to the actual price action of the stock. What I like to do is look at peaks in the RSI and compare them to peaks in the stock price. Let's go way back here to this peak, to the current one, and look at the peak, so go straight above and look at the peak of the price action to the current. So no real divergence here. It would be very concerning if this momentum was pointed steadily down, showing that the stock was losing momentum, while the actual stock price was continuing to rise. That's what we call an RSI divergence. Finally, I'll check the volume of the stock, mainly just noticing if it is decreasing or increasing. So I like to zoom in a little bit and look at some peaks compared to the current price. We have our volume bars here, and we look like we have a little bit of decreasing volume with slightly increasing stock price. Trends need volume to continue, especially uptrends. So if Apple were to break a new high, we would need the volume to be at least higher than its previous peak where it couldn't break that 140 mark. Since the volume has not increased past this previous peak's point here, and it's actually slightly lower, Apple will have a hard time breaking this 140 mark until we see an increase in volume. Now it's time to learn a key point. The longer the time frame, the more significance you should give the trading signal. This goes not only for support and resistance levels, but also for RSI divergences, volume analysis, and moving average crossovers. If you don't know what those are, I encourage you to watch my full playlist on swing trading strategies, which covers all of those. So since we have just analyzed this stock briefly on a 30-day, 1-hour chart, what should we probably do next? Of course, we should zoom out and look at a longer term time frame. Now, I personally prefer to go to the 180-day, 4-hour chart next. This is one of the absolute most popular time frames used by swing traders and day traders. A big part of swing trading is going along with the crowd in a way and using other people's momentum in order to profit. So here I am on the 180-day, 4-hour chart. Let's go through the same 3 points as before, but now on this larger time frame where, remember, we're going to give the points more significance because the time frame is larger and thus the patterns hold more weight. So first, I'm going to draw my support and resistance lines. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And now we're actually seeing that this 140 point acted as resistance way back about 143 days ago. So this is now a very significant point that we're very interested in. We also have some support down here around the 103 range. Next, we have some less significant ranges, but there still could act as support because the stock is hitting this point pretty often, and that's around 122. So it looks like it acted as a bit of resistance around here. Then it acted as resistance once again. Once it finally broke, this became the new support line, 122. And next, I want to analyze the RSI of the stock, which you guys should be doing before ever entering a trade. So once again, let's do this now. And remember, on a larger time frame, the indicators that we see are much more important than on a shorter time frame. So we always start with the peaks. So we have the stock price peaking here. We have the RSI here, okay? So we're going to draw a line to the current RSI, pretty significant downslope. And now we compare that to the price action of the stock. So we draw a line from the peak to the current stock price, And as we can see, it's pretty flat, but slightly increasing, okay? We're at that 140 point, and this was around 137. So we're slightly increasing, but a stock cannot break a new high or gain momentum when the momentum's decreasing, right? RSI is using volume, buying pressure, all these other complex equations to really show how much interest is there in the stock, how many people are buying it up, and what is the overall strength. Well, the momentum and volume is actually decreasing as the stock price is increasing. Still, this is only a 180-day 4-hour chart. We can't give this a ton of weight, but it is significant. And finally, I'm going to check the volume of the stock. So I'm going to go back to this peak, and it looks like we had some pretty high volume here, and we're gonna go to the current stock price. So even if we didn't have this huge day of volume, let's say we drew it down from here, which is more the average, we still have pretty significant falling volume. Now, you tell me, can a stock break a new high and really catapult itself into the stratosphere when no one's trading it? The answer should be pretty obvious. We cannot increase in stock price and keep a trend uptrending if we have lower volume and lower momentum. So now this is pretty interesting, but still I'm going to look at it at an even longer time frame to get more confirmation. It's fascinating how much more knowledge we can gain just from zooming out to a larger time frame. To wrap up this video, we're going to zoom out one more time, but now to a weekly time frame. In a weekly chart, one single candlestick bar represents an entire week of price action trading. Obviously, if we see any strong indicators on this large time frame, we should give them a lot of importance. Now we are on the weekly 3-year chart, and we're going to repeat these same 3 steps. It looks like our actual support line that we drew at 106, 107 is still holding weights during this larger weekly time frame, but it looks like the resistance point is slightly different. So that means that on a actual weekly point, the stock went up. You can see this long wick here. It means the stock went up, but it couldn't stay there for even a week, so it shot back down. So our actual resistance point is around this 130, which we know if a stock breaks a resistance point, it becomes a new support. By now you should know we're going to look at the RSI of the stock. Let's look at some peaks, and I'm already seeing something pretty interesting. I hope that you are as well by this point. Stock price, way up. But what about the RSI, which shows us momentum? Down sloping, right? Pretty interesting. So the stock price is moving up aggressively, but the momentum is really drying up, which means less people are trading it. There's less strength. It's closing at higher highs less and less often, but the stock price is still drifting up. Well, we have to ask ourselves, is this sustainable? Will the stock price keep rising up and making newer highs as the volume is steadily decreasing and the RSI is going down? So now let's actually take a closer look at the volume, and it's declining, and we have even more volume here as the stock was dropping. So let's just draw a line here as well. But essentially it's pretty clear to see, right? We have less and less volume as the stock price is going up. Now volume and RSI are very related, but you will always see when a stock breaks a new high, there will be increased volume. So this is a stock to watch right now, depending on when you see this video. At the time I'm making it, Apple is at such a key point right here. There's a lot of resistance and some support that's pretty far down. Like the first real support we have is 122. So that's a pretty big drop if Apple were to go all the way back down and bounce off of that. I really think it's running out of momentum, and I think it's going to go back down to probably the 107 range, but probably first it will hang around the 122 range. Do your own analysis, but this is sort of in real time how I actually analyze stocks. If you have any specific questions on swing trading or day trading, drop them in the comment section below. Or feel free to reach out to me on Instagram if you don't want to post it publicly. I'll have a link to my Instagram account below as well. Make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave a like on this video. It really helps out the channel so that I can continue making these videos for you guys. Thanks for watching.